You're here with the Mouse Vibes, and we're back at Universal Studios Hollywood for a Halloween Horror Night update.
Rock and roll.
We're a little over 3 months away from the scariest event of the year, Halloween Horror Nights. And as of right now, Universal Studios Hollywood has no official dates, house announcements, or overall theming.
No way!
It's been a big year here in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's the rumor anyway. You can't always believe the gossip in the neighborhood.
As Universal Studios kicked off their summer celebration, celebrating 60 years of the studio tram tour.
It's time to get you back to the future. Are you ready?
They're also wrapping up the limited run on the Fall Guys Stuntacular. And Universal Studios Hollywood told us the Fast and Furious coaster is coming in 2026.
Measuring this, it's a little crooked, so we gotta redo it.
And that it's called the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift.
Amen.
Not bad.
Praying for the car gods, man.
But recently, Halloween Horror Nights uploaded their first 2 teaser videos for 2024. And at first glance, they look to be the exact same video, even with the same title, except the one that's a little bit longer is for Universal Studios Orlando. So let's take a look at the one for Universal Studios Hollywood. The first thing I want to point out is the description for this video that reads, "The gate has been opened and there's no containing the insatiable evil that will break through from beyond. This is where horror lives." Great, screaming coming from a sewer. This entire teaser video is filled with imagery from some of our favorite movies. Tell me when you saw this sewer, your mind didn't go right to this.
Aren't you gonna say hello?
It looks like we've descended underneath Universal Studios into some long hallway, and this hallway feels eerily familiar to Hawkins Middle School and Stranger Things Season 1. It also looked kind of like
Freddy Krueger's boiler room.
Freddy Krueger?
He's a super burned up dude with razors for fingers, and he kills you in your dreams.
Dustin, seriously?
Oh, this was super cool. There was actually a flyer hanging in the hallway that said, "Attention team members." And if you look closely, that's the classic Universal logo that could be found at both
Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Studios Florida.
This was the logo from 1989 through 1998. So it's safe to say the theming this year is set to the 90s.
Good call.
And down the hallway is a locked door, and behind that locked door looks to be some type of nest or egg or sack of some sort. It kind of reminds me of the Mind Flare from Season 3. This is probably the best example. If you look in the ground, you can see the reflection of what looks to be the Upside Down. And while I don't actually believe it is the Upside Down, I do think this is a nice reference to Stranger Things. I mean, as the camera pans up into the red sky, tell me this doesn't feel like an episode from Stranger Things. So I guess the question is, do I believe that Stranger Things is coming back to Halloween Horror Nights in 2024?
No!
No way.
Absolutely not.
That would be a waste of time.
Because it headlined the event last year on both coasts. Right now, the cast and crew is currently in production on Season 5 that should wrap by the end of this year. Honestly, the Halloween Horror Night team did a great job of putting this video together. And they might have borrowed a page out of the Stranger Things handbook by shooting scenes that were either a reference or literal shot for shot from some of your favorite horror and 80s movies.
Do anything I want. Do anything. I'm the chief of police.
Honestly, this was a great way of driving hype and getting people talking about this year's event. The engagement for this video was through the roof of people guessing what intellectual property this was referencing or what's coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year. My personal favorite guess was Ernest Scared Stupid.
How about a bumper sandwich, booger lips?
But I want to hear from you guys. Comment down below and let me know what you think of this teaser video. And am I missing any references? And as much as I love this teaser video, it still leaves out a ton of unanswered questions, especially for Hollywood.
Why?
As we still have no dates, no official house announcements.
No, die, sir.
But we did get the tagline for Halloween Horror Nights this year, and it's Halloween Horror Nights where horror lives.
Okay, let's move on.
Universal Studios Orlando's Halloween Horror Night event is celebrating 33 years this year, and so far they've already announced 3 houses that are all original story ideas. In Major Sweets Candy Factory, Goblin's Feast, and Slaughter Cinema 2.
And many sequels have surpassed their original.
Oh yeah?
Name one.
The Godfather, Part 2.
The original story houses are our favorite thing about Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, and Ashley and I are so stoked to check out Slaughter Cinema too.
I am so excited.
Because all of our friends said the first Slaughter Cinema was the best house ever.
It's the chef's kiss of houses. It is beautiful.
HHN Orlando is the unofficial kickoff for haunt season for the year. It's the first major haunt every single year, and they already have dates listed for this year, and this will give us a good indication on when Hollywood's event will start. So the first day of HHN Orlando is Friday, August 30th, and this is going to run all the way through Sunday, November 3rd. That's 48 total days of this event.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So typically, HHN Hollywood kicks off their event the following Thursday.
Your money, Vince. You're so money, baby.
So even though we don't have an official date just yet, I'm pretty confident in saying that Hollywood's event will start Thursday, September 5th.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
Also coming back is the promotion with Peacock. So when you buy your 2024 Halloween Horror Night ticket, you actually unlock 6 months of Peacock. So they get you on the app by promoting their best horror movies like Five Nights at Freddy's, which they were actually promoting inside Universal Studios Hollywood as well. But our favorite part of Peacock is watching our favorite Bravo shows uncensored the next day.
I'm on Tom Sandoval's side.
Yes, honey boo boo.
There's also terms and conditions, and we'll just go over the important stuff for this. This is a limited time offer, redeemed by January 31st, 2025, and this excludes current Peacock Premium and Premium Plus subscriptions. So if you're paying to skip commercials, you get
nothing. You lose.
But here's the important part. It says you must purchase a ticket product that grants you admission to Halloween Horror Nights 2024 from universalstudioshollywood.com, universalorlando.com, or vacations.universalstudioshollywood.com between April 3rd, 2024 through literally the last day, Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. Hopefully this is a clue that the Peacock Horror Bar is coming back. This is something that they introduced last year where you can grab themed premium cocktails and awesome character meet and greets. They actually had this over at Universal Orlando as well, and we hope to see it come back in a bigger capacity this year.
We could do that. Yeah!
We are way too early into construction to determine what any of these houses are themed to just yet, but the houses behind Soundstage 15 and the Mummy Queue look the furthest along. We recently uploaded our first Halloween Horror Night video of 2024, where we broke down the first round of the speculation map presented by HHN Nightmares on Twitter. Definitely check out that video if you haven't seen it already. We'll link that video in the description below. But in that video, we broke down where this speculation map comes from,
It tells you everything.
what each of these icons means, and what we think is coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Call it luck, call it karma. I believe that everything happens for a reason.
I also wanted to remind everyone that this spec map is not affiliated with Universal Studios Hollywood or Halloween Horror Nights in any capacity.
Why would we want to talk about that? I don't know.
But since that video, the second round of the speculation map dropped in May, and there's a ton of changes. Actually, only 3 out of the 8 houses remain the same. Honestly, this was unexpected, and most of these icons feel super familiar. The first thing that jumps out to me is a possible headliner rumored for Soundstage 15 that looks to be a house inspired by a musician. So let's just start here on the lower lot and go over the 4 possible houses. Let's start with Soundstage 15, that's this yellow one right over here. We were introduced to a brand new icon of a pair of sunglasses, and I'm sure you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking. Let's just say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at that. The biggest rumor I keep hearing is that the artist The Weeknd could be making a return back to Halloween Horror Nights. Not only is he one of the largest artists in the world, he's signed to Republic Records, which is underneath the Universal Music Group umbrella. So he's already in the door for Universal. And let's not forget he headlined Halloween Horror Nights on both coasts back in 2022. This was definitely one of our favorite houses that year.
I loved it. They crushed it. I do like the Hollywood one a bit more, just because it's like Hollywood, The Weeknd, the music capital of the world type of thing, but like, that was fire.
That After Hours album was the 4th best-selling album of 2022, and it went certified triple platinum. At that time, it just felt like The Weeknd and his music were literally everywhere.
You're right. I can do this.
And as much as we love that record and both houses for Halloween Horror Nights, I'm really hoping they don't repeat the Weekend After Hours Nightmare.
What are you talking about?
But instead update the Weekend to a new house based on his follow-up record, Dawn FM.
You are now listening to 103.5 Dawn FM.
The album's concept is a state of purgatory, a journey towards the light at the end of the tunnel. Not only does that sound terrifying, but this album's full of bangers. This is gonna be such a fun house to dance your way through.
Take my breath.
But comment down below and let me know if you want to see The Weeknd come back to Halloween Horror Nights here in Hollywood. I definitely wouldn't be mad at this at all, especially if they're able to bring back another Weeknd themed bar. Moving on, let's talk about Soundstage 22, where it looks like the icon of the Cadillac logo has been moved to this location, and we've been speculating on this all year that the Ghostbusters would be making a return to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
And if it does, this is something we should see at both coasts. I hope there's a Ghostbusters announcement coming very soon, because the 40th year anniversary is coming up on June 8th, and I feel like that would be a great time to celebrate the franchise and announce the headliner for Halloween Horror Nights, which I think will be based on the newest film, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
But they're not as much fun as we are, you know that.
Let's talk about the T-Pad location outside of Soundstage 15. Last year, this was the home to Holidays in Hell. And on this version of the speculation map, the icon has been switched out for a pig with X's in his eyes. And at first I thought this pig mask was a reference to Saw, and the X's in the eyes to commemorate the 10th film in the franchise. But after doing a quick Google search, I now think that this is actually for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as the original film will celebrate its 50-year anniversary on October 11th.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. After you stop screaming, you'll start talking about it.
This is so random, but there's actually a Saw Easter egg in the newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre film from 2013. So maybe they're throwing a curveball and it's based on this version.
No. No what? No. What? No.
The next house, I'll be honest, I'm not sure what it is. It's definitely an original story idea, and it's an icon of a barracks or a canteen engulfed in flames.
Tracking out the fire.
But on the front of that building is a biohazard symbol.
Turns out some skateboarder slapped a biohazard band sticker on the side of this.
Comment down below if you know what this is. I'm a little stumped on this one. Next, let's talk about what's going on in the Curious George parking lot, as both of these icons have switched up. Let's talk about the first tent, which is the female biological symbol with the Bride of Frankenstein's hair on top. And at first I thought maybe we're getting another Bride of Frankenstein house.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
But after looking at that symbol, maybe we're expecting to get an all-female Universal Monsters house this year.
That's right.
A couple of years ago, one of the scare zones on the upper lot was themed to the Silver Scream Queens. Holy crap, the Scream Queens scare zone, or the silver whatever scare zone that was. Awesome. The next icon is a lantern, and I'm fairly confident this is to symbolize the Insidious franchise that dropped its 5th film last summer, Insidious: The Red Door. Insidious has been at Halloween Horror Nights back in 2013 and 2015, back when Ashley and I were too afraid to attend the event.
The kid is a L7 weenie.
And as excited as I am to check out Insidious, I will say I am a little disappointed to see A Nightmare on Elm Street removed from the speculation map. This is one I was definitely dying to check out, especially with the film about to celebrate its 40-year anniversary. The last two houses are on the upper lot, and both of these houses were on the first round of the speculation map as well. So we'll move through these pretty quickly. This symbol right here for No Noise, I'm gonna double down and say it's for A Quiet Place Day 1. This is the 3rd film in the Quiet Place franchise, and it's set to release in June. And the premise of this movie is pretty disturbing. It looks like a nearly abandoned New York City. And if they were able to figure out how to bring this to life for Halloween Horror Nights, this would be a huge success.
Great success.
This is rumored to be going into the old Walking Dead attraction, and I think it'll be a great fit. The last house is over in the Parisian courtyard, and even though the icon has been updated, it's almost been plussed up. The icon represents South America, and it has a flower in the middle. The first round of the speculation map had just the flower, and to know that the flower takes place in South America is a good sign. That way they can incorporate the Universal Plaza, the Parisian courtyard, and French Street to be one big area. And I looked up a bunch of folklore and myths about flowers from South America and couldn't find anything. But one thing that did stand out was the use of the plant-based medicine ayahuasca. This South American psychoactive brew is traditionally used by indigenous cultures and folk healers in the Amazon. Not only would this be a trippy house, but I feel like the team over at Halloween Horror Nights would knock this out of the park. But I want to hear from you guys. Comment down below and let me know what you think this symbol means and what houses you want to see come to Halloween Horror Nights. Alright, and that's going to wrap up our update for Halloween Horror Nights here at Universal Studios Hollywood. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It really helps us grow, and if not, thanks for stopping by.